Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you to the 5th Forbes Women Africa Leading Women Summit 2020. As always, we are delighted to be in Durban. Thank you, Premier Ziklala, MEC Nube, and the KZN government for your continued support for this event and being such fantastic hosts. Please give them a round of applause. This summit is a natural extension of the Forbes Women Africa brand that was conceived to celebrate the success of African women across different walks of life. Just like last year, we had a stimulating day today with great conversations from exceptional women who are an inspiration to our future generations. They represent all segments of our society, including the all-important role of being homemakers. March is the designated Women's History Month to coincide with the International Women's Day on the 8th. This reminds us of the important role that women play in our lives. However, it does not end here. We need to consciously celebrate every day as a constant reminder that we would not be in this world without a woman, our mother. To that end, I pay a special tribute to all women, all mothers who are responsible for our very existence. Ladies and gentlemen, I come from a very strong value system where equality is a given. In my world, responsibility is shared based on our contribution and inherent strengths, and not on gender or ethnicity. With this belief, we have walked the talk on diversity. It's a living value where your seat at the table is because of what you bring to the party. In absolute terms, 60% of our team today are women. To illustrate this, the CEO of CNBC Africa is Roberta Naika, and the managing editor of Forbes Africa is Renuka Methil. This is in addition to several other women who support them. We have also lived the ideology of equal pay for equal work, something that was talked about today, and this, to my mind, is true transformation. In my publisher's note in the March 2019 issue of Forbes Africa, I wrote about 5 expressions that, to my mind, are the most defining in our lives: circumstances, making choices, people in our lives, opportunity, and change. These are all interlinked expressions that define who we are, who we surround ourselves with, how we conduct ourselves, what we do, what values we embrace over our lifetime, and how we adapt to change. George Bernard Shaw very aptly said, "Progress is impossible without change." My life's mission has been about change. Our businesses are long-term and transformative. As a family investment holding, we have invested in IT, in media, and in education, and have a physical presence in 20 countries in the Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa, South and Southeast Asia. Through our media assets, CNBC Africa and Forbes Africa, we have showcased business and development in Africa for over 13 years and have played a part in the changing narrative of our continent from one of opportunity from the rhetoric of doom and gloom. We've also established our first education project in Accra with the launch of Lancaster University, Ghana in 2013. We plan to bring top universities into the continent and help build the much needed capacity in the continent. This is truly the change that is needed. In my publisher's note of the current issue that is perhaps in your hand today, I have talked about 2 very important words in our lives: compromise and change. Do we compromise? or have we changed? On this most topical subject of gender equality, the real question is whether people have simply made compromises and checked boxes, or are we truly changing? I therefore quote from my note. This is a very complex issue facing society, and there are no quick fix solutions to this historic incongruity. There is a lot of lip service to this societal imbalance, and in reality, the journey has been a prolonged one that is embedded with contention. Part of the reason is that there is a reliance on makeshift solutions of creating quotas rather than making it competence-based. Putting any person in a role of responsibility on the basis of any matrix other than competence is setting the individual up for failure, and then setting a precedence to question the very rationale behind the dissymmetry. The last decade has brought about a lot of change, with more sectors opening up to women, including the police, military, airline pilots, and many more vocations that earlier had exclusions. It is my belief that one of the most important answers lies in more opportunities at the grassroots level by making sure that our girls are educated and receive the same opportunity at school, vocation centers, and colleges. To achieve this, a lot more of the skills development resources need to be spent on young women so that they can be trained in the vocation of their choosing. And we don't have a lady who wants to be a pilot who can't make it because she doesn't have the resources. I also believe that successful women need to pay more attention to this all-important issue and not only be role models, but also become champions in this most needed change. Otherwise, it will remain a compromise. Our family foundation, that is chaired by my wife Saloni, who's in the audience, plays a small role in the education of women in different parts of the world. I implore everyone in this room to pay attention to this aspect of imbalance, particularly in the rural areas of our society. If you educate one girl in your lifetime, you'll be part of the change needed and not part of a compromise that is expected. Ladies and gentlemen, I take this opportunity to once again welcome you all and to congratulate all our finalists and winners. I thank all of you for being here tonight to be part of this wonderful initiative that has come through the dedication of our teams led by Roberta Naicker, Renuka Methil, Sid Wahi, Jean Landsberg, Kudzai Kanyagarara, and Jill de Villiers. Thank you very much.